Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. If you on, well, Tisa Tells, okay? I was trying to do a pre-recorded video, didn't work. So if you saw it, you know. To me, it didn't look like it worked to me, so I just deleted the whole thing, y'all. I talked to my great niece, put my mic on mute. How about I done got back on live and got to take it off mute, huh? But anyway, this one I'm just gonna keep doing it live until I figure out how to do the pre-recorded. Everybody knows, I'm learning by myself, totally not no knowledge of technology. Like y'all can just throw pictures up in there to follow you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even learned that part yet. So until then, I'm gonna be a reaction channel, okay? So I have to go live with all my stuff. I can't do the pre-recorded yet, but I'm gonna learn. I will learn it. All right. So today's reaction is coming from Tisa Tells channel on YouTube. And it's just mainly I'm just gonna do an update of the whole trial. Okay, I ain't gonna even go in the middle. I'm just gonna so I can have a recap of the whole day. Okay, so and it decided to storm. As soon as I hit the record button or whatever the live button, it decided to storm. So let us pray. Okay, God is working. All right, let's go ahead and get started. As you come in, y'all, please hit the subscribe button, also the like button. If you just like a little bit of the content of me. Now, if you like any of the content, y'all, I'm just trying to get into it because that's why I was trying to do a pre-recorded, because sometimes you don't really feel too hot and you know what I mean. But I decided, yeah, I gotta do it. So let's get started. Tisa's gonna start us off, and I just interject sometimes. But we want to know what Mia had to say up in that darn courtroom. That's what I want. I ain't heard nothing. I haven't heard it yet, y'all. And y'all, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and hit that like if you like a little bit. Please do those two. It's totally free. Free, free, free. Okay? Here we go, y'all.
Guys, how y'all doing today, baby? We get home safely.
Sorry.
Bye bye. See ya. We have y'all. Today was such a devastating day in the courtroom. Again, for anybody who thinks that the government don't got Diddy, they 100% do. But you know what is interesting? It has been exposed through this day of trial through Dante and also through Mia, that is the alias, that the whole industry knew what Diddy was up to, and it looked like the whole industry didn't care. At Prince's party, everybody saw Diddy mollywop Cassie. Nobody did anything. Mia, the assistant, was horribly assaulted by Diddy in fear of her life. Who was around her? His security and Swiss Beats. What is going on? Is this why the
Swiss
industry is
beat.
so silent with Diddy? Because everybody saw.
Did she say Swiss beats and he didn't even help? Dang, what in the what? Diddy, Diddy is a man. Y'all, I can't understand why he still even, I don't know. I wonder why. I never understand that. I won't. Because they darn, you know, murk people, put, what you supposed to call it, the HIT on people, and, but, but y'all just let Diddy just run everybody crazy and ragged and do it up. I don't know. I don't know.
What Diddy was up to, and nobody wanted to do a thing to
No.
stop it. Y'all, this is actually wild. Let's get into this, right? But first, my lips are chapped. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
I can't find my lipstick, so y'all go. Let's get into this. I was live in court. Again, it was heavy energy in court. It was weird energy in court. It felt dirty. It felt unseemly. But you know what? That's the way you feel when Diddy is around. It feels dirty. It feels unseemly. It feels weird. Y'all, Mia let out. See ya. Mia let out so much information, but I'm beginning to see the whole industry knew what Diddy was up to. The whole industry didn't care. Everybody just let this man do what he wanted. Y'all, let's get into this. On top of this, Mia has 100% proven the government's thing of RICO, coercion, violence, because you need violence, you need coercion, you need control, and didn't kiss his companies goodbye because half the stuff he was doing, he was putting the apartments, the cars, the employees that would chase Mia down, chase Cassie down. It was all on Combs Global. Do you realize how devastating this is? Again, just like Al Capone, all he had to do was pay his taxes and he'd probably still be spilling blood all over Chicago streets. All Diddy had to do was, you know, the funny thing is, I was talking, let me just tell you this before I get into Mia's devastating testimony and Swiss Beats sitting there watching a woman being assaulted with a laptop. Diddy also told this girl, yo, you better go to IHOP right now and get everybody food, right? And she was like, okay, I just need to go into my room and change she was on her, I don't even know if I can say it, YouTube will probably demonetize me, but she was on that type of a mom. She said, I just had to, change my tampon. Diddy was eating a bowl of spaghetti. And around that time, Diddy was heavier and he ain't need spaghetti. Diddy was drinking a bowl of spaghetti and he literally grabbed them, right? He literally took the bowl of spaghetti. First of all, he berated her. He screamed at her. He humiliated her, called her stupid, dumb, all this stuff. They said blood started dripping down her leg. How embarrassing. You're literally at work. You're sitting on another errand. You have all this responsibility. You are being SA'd at the whim. Blood starts pouring down your leg because he won't even let you go to the bathroom to change it. While that happened, instead of him being like, oh my God, I'm sorry, this and that, you know what this fool does? He literally picks up the bowl of spaghetti his chunky self is eating. And I say that as somebody that can stand to miss a meal now and then, right? And threw that bowl of spaghetti on her. So now she got spaghetti dripping down the walls. It barely missed her, but she was in fear. What did she do? And he knew that she said that she felt like he was about to jump on her. She really went and ran and hid in the bushes. How big are Diddy's bushes? Because they said Cassie did the same thing. Ran and hid in the bushes. She said she ran and hid in the bushes, and then she had to check into a hotel room. Y'all, Diddy was a monster, and he loved humanity.
Wow. She couldn't go to the freaking bathroom, y'all. Man, Diddy, boy. What? Let me figure out. Let me see what year this was.
Humiliating people. He loved people becoming depraved. It was actually a sickness if you think about this. Listen. Anyway.
Wait a minute. If he told everybody to go get them something to eat, go get them food. Who all was in there besides Swiss Beats? Man, I wonder how many watched him do this to her,
Shay, I was talking to a young lady today in courtroom. Shout out to Shay, and she had some interesting things to say. And I think this literally goes into like the disappointment a lot of people feeling Diddy, but also the way Diddy has weird fans that are following him to the very end. Okay, Divine Spiritual said, "Thank you, Tisa, for giving us all the tea. You welcome." So it was just like it was a weird information in like what she gave. Here's what she said, right? She said she remembers that Diddy was giving an interview on something. I think it was Revolt TV, and he was talking about his childhood, right? Renetta Johnston said, "My girl, stay with the scoop, baby. I in court all day, even when things get so dark and heavy and just yucky. Ugh, just yucky. But you get it, right? Anyway, right? Diddy said on Revolt TV when he was celebrating the whole thing of Revolt and celebrating the thing, he said, I grew up with rats, right? He said, I grew up with rats in my house. rats dancing on him. He said when he said that, he said, I grew up with rats and I am never going back to that place again. I will never put myself in a position where I don't have control and I'm back to living with rats. And she said,
yo, then his dad was in the military, right? His mom was there. Okay, I'm just telling y'all a little back of what I heard and saw and read some of. His dad was in the military, right? It, how do you say bringing home? It was like that. He was in the service, but he was helping them pass the rugs. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, so anyway, long story short, daddy comes home, and then they find the gang or whoever finds out that his daddy was doing something. I don't know what, but anyway, it caused him to get murked, right? So they went to Diddy's mama, okay? And she became a madam, okay? So I'm just trying to figure out where the rats and stuff came in at. You know what I mean? Cause they never said anything about no rats, but unless they just didn't go back far enough. But Diddy's daddy was in the service back in them days, but he was doing that, making money, and I'm sure he was sending some home. Okay, so but after he passed, got murked. Diddy's mama became a madam. Okay, now that's what I read in on the YouTube streets somewhere. I read it. I'm gonna figure out where I read it from too.
it's so ironic that the thing he wanted to avoid the most, I never want to go back to a place where I'm sharing space with rats, to living in that type of situation where I didn't have any control, where I lost control. I never want to go back. It's so interesting that she said, but at the end of the day, he put himself in that situation. The one thing he wanted to avoid, the one thing he didn't want to, being around rats, being out of control, being in dire circumstances. That's exactly where he is now at the MDC, literally probably torturing the rats and roaches. And again, I was talking to her. I was like, Shay, you're right. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And she said, no, Tisa, I think it goes different than that. Diddy had a trajectory. It wasn't just the money. Yes, his trajectory was taking him the money, but he had a trajectory. There wasn't just the money. There was something, right? She said she felt like he was blessed. He was ordained. He had a trajectory to fulfill something, to help bring light into people's lives, to take that energy and spread it around and help uplift people. And instead, he wasted it. He wasted it. Oh, Cassandra Bogan, thank you so much for for the Cash App. He wasted it. He wasted that energy, that magic. He wasted it on freak offs. He wasted it on beating people. He wasted it on using that power that you can say he was blessed with, that he found, that he got, whatever you believe in. He was that something special that made him, that drew.
He didn't use it for good. He used it for evil. That's point blank, period. He didn't use it for good. He used it for freaking evil. Okay.
Everybody that allowed him to build that empire. He decided to use that money for the empire, and he used it to hurt others, to cower over others, to use people like ragdolls. He used that, whatever you want to say he had, to make everybody feel as tiny, small, insignificant, and worthless as he felt growing up with rats.
And God said, or whoever y'all believe in, said, no, you're not doing that to my children. And if you're atheist, just forget it, okay? Forget what I said. I'm not talking to you, okay? But yeah, you're not doing that to my people. Now, I gave you a chance, many chances, over 20 years. And this how you gonna treat my people? No. My children, No.
Around him that he felt growing up with rats and roaches around him, and he felt growing up feeling small and insignificant. Shay said he must feel furious and angry, right? Okay, that wasn't Shay, that was me. Let me stop putting Shay's name in the stuff. But I took notes. I was like, he must feel furious and angry that the one thing he wanted to avoid, he did a self-fulfilling prophecy. And now toward the end of his life, he's in the situation that he ran so far from. Why? Because instead of spreading light and moving past his trauma, he decided that he was going to make everybody feel as worthless as he felt back then. And I literally was like, Diddy must feel so furious, so angry. But again, this is how you tell, it's kind of like they say that there's forgiveness for everything. I don't believe that. But there is forgiveness if you but the first part of forgiveness is truly understanding what you did wrong. And when you look at Diddy, he's furious and angry, and you can see that in the court. But he still hasn't blamed himself. He still hasn't turned a mirror on himself. No. He still hasn't said, right? He hasn't put a mirror on himself, and he still hasn't, hold on, y'all. He still hasn't said, right? He still hasn't said that I take accountability. It was me. It was something sick. It was something twisted. It was something dark. But I take accountability, right? And on top of that, when the feds were investigating him, according to the feds, he was in New York trying to be on some hooligan shit, making people afraid to testify. And it might have worked because look at Gina. And you were still doing free calls. Where's the introspection? Where is when you said, you know what? Okay, this is what we're going to do, So anyway, right?
I'm saying, them ninjas, they ain't gonna do nothing to me. Just girl, come on over here, man. Let's go get some Tucci and all that stuff. Let's get some candles out. Let's get it together. Such and such, bring it and set up the room for me. Because he didn't think now he's thinking about it hard. Now, I wonder if he wish he'd have did something different. I just wonder. People be tripping.
He had a horrible day. All the motions to dismiss he had when he said, I want the doctor's testimony stricken. I want Kid Cudi's testimony stricken. I want Cassie's testimony stricken. Matter of fact, you know who else testified? He said, I want Deontay's testimony stricken. And we were like, but Deontay didn't even finish testifying. And the judge looked at it and said, no. Anyway, counselors, y'all can move on. Shame to Blame 1971 said, what's up? How you doing? Thank you so much for a super chat. Diddy's team also tried to get this scrapbook passed around. There was a scrapbook that somebody had made of all this mess about Mia had made him 3 scrapbooks about everything he thought was amazing and everything. They wanted to pass that around. The judge was like, no, but you can leaf through it. Anyway, Doree Angel said, welcome that surprise witness family. What's up, guys? Coach Elisa, what's up? Welcome. Listen, oh my God, welcome. Shout out to BJ, the surprise witness. Thank you so much.
I love PJ, that surprise witness. Yeah, I watch her too. Yeah.
We are big fans of BJ Investigate. So, Deontay. So I'll go into the Deontay stuff later. But get this. Let's jump into the essay, right? Because the girl said, let me know when you're ready. So the girl said, right, that I know it's still early, but still. So the girl said that so the girl jumped into, she was first setting up a lot of pregame. We're gonna get into that maybe in a later live. I'm gonna move into the bulk of what she was saying, right?
Yeah.
She basically said that Diddy, the whole time she was working for him, not only was he SAing her whatever he wanted, and it sounded like he put something into 2 Ciroc vodka shots the first time it happened. But even when it happened, she didn't know what to do. And he kept telling her that if you don't let me keep doing it, right, that he was going to tell Cassie, because he said Cassie was like his sister. He was going to tell Cassie what she'd been doing, and she was going to be cut out, kicked out the Bad Boy family, this and that. At the end of the day, she also had issues with wanting to feel a part of a family. One thing, Diddy was very good at actually identifying people that needed to feel part of a family. MC said, I believe Daphne Joy deactivated her IG. Thoughts? I wonder if Daphne Joy is victim number 2. I wonder. MG said, Tisa, that surprise witness is showing you love and send her watches over here. Oh, shout out to BJ Investigates, that surprise witness. Make sure y'all show her love right back. Even though I think y'all know her before y'all know me, but still, show some love. Ellen, thank you so much for the super chat. And Tiff G, baby, thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to that surprise witness. Shout out to BJ. You said BJ Raid. Yo, ain't nothing like DJ, but that southern twang, love it. Here's what she said. She essayed her multiple times. She said she never wanted it. It was sporadic, meaning that it didn't happen every day, but it happened enough that she was living on edge. She said every time it happened, Cassie was not there, and the side Jones were not there either. Okay, they said the first time, Donna Mae said, I'm 71 years old. I appreciate your honesty and integrity. Thank you. And it's refreshing in today's times. God bless you and keep up the good work. Thank you so much, you guys. So get this. She said that the first essay happened at the Plaza Hotel for Diddy's 40th birthday. She was only working for Diddy for a few months. Cassie was not there. They had a penthouse suite, and he also had, I think it's called the Garden. That's the first floor when you walk into the Plaza Hotel, right? See ya, mama. She said there were a lot of people there. There were guests, there were celebrities, there were workers, but there was no Cassie. Diddy literally said, yo, can I speak to you in the kitchen? So this is her boss, and this is her dream job. She said, all right, right? So she's like, okay. And he told everyone in the kitchen to leave because he had to speak to Mia. He said, yo, you're doing a good job. And she's like, thank you. And he said, yo, but I don't want you to be nervous and scared of me, right? I don't want you to be nervous and scared to talk to me. Because prior to that, there was somebody named Malcolm. That was the only personal assistant that was left. And Malcolm would be the one she talked to instead of going straight to Diddy, right? Nicole A said, between you and BJ, I get the best info. Shout out. Thank y'all. They said, now, she said, he said, and I want you to know we're going to be working closer together, right? And he gave her 2 vodka shots to drink. Now, she said that she doesn't recall drinking earlier that night. You know, she was in her 20s. She partied a lot in New York City. So she knows the effect that 2 vodka shots would have had on her, right? And I put, were the shots rug? Because when she said that the shots were, when she took the shots, she said a short while later, it hit her like, whoa, like, why is these shots hitting me so bad, right? Laura Frank said, Tisa, love you. You need a break. Come on over to Jersey City. I got you. Appreciate you. Oh, thank y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button too. So then she said when the shots started hitting her, and she was like, oh my God, like what was in that? She said Diddy got real close, right? Really close. He said he got his face really close to her. And the whole time she was like, ugh, I don't want it. So this was her. And this was Diddy. Yo, you don't gotta be afraid to talk to me. And she was like, right? You know when somebody pushes up on you that you are like, please back.
Y'all, I ain't mean to laugh, but Tisa be acting it out. That's why I love this channel. 4 years. But anyway, yeah, darn that he had to put some of them during drink because y'all know everybody know their limit, even though some people go over it. Yeah, you know, like you say, well, I drink about 2 beers, I'll be all right. You drink 2 and then you can't hardly stand up or you pass out, you know something's wrong. Okay? And no, I don't drink. But yeah.
Up, but it's her boss. She said around that time the shots were hitting her. And she said at that time, she was just like, am I imagining this? Because it seems like he's being creepy, right? Linda Martinez said, get it, Tisa. So his face was all closed. Yo, you ain't gotta be afraid. You ain't gotta be afraid. She was just like, right? And he was like, yo, come talk to me when you want, just me and you. You can talk directly, right? And she said, and then he went in to kiss her, like, and she was like, she said she didn't want it. I said, I feel you. And then he put his hand up her dress. He went in to kiss her and put his hand up her dress, right? Moo McDaniels, thank you so much for the membership. And Katie Aldina said, God bless you, Tisa. You're loved and respected. Oh, thank you, right? So then, and listen, so you got to think, this was her employer. He was a mogul. He ran the industry. It was a once-in-a-lifetime chance for the dream job that she wanted. And on top of that, she's feeling like the shots are hitting her too hard.
Yeah.
Gain Love Life Worldwide said, sorry, here I am. Sorry. So Gain for Worldwide, light or power control power. I remember interviewing with Motown for Anna Harrell and was told my life is no longer my own, like a slave, if I took the job. And Kathy Vogue, thank you so much for the super chat. And I could live, and if I could live with it, they could get a job. And you said, no, I just withdrew. Gain Love Life Worldwide, LC. That's exactly the way she's talking about it. Antoine Davis said, I feel like the prosecution proved Diddy had authority over the police. The female officer was fanning out over a phone call from Diddy. Exactly. Everybody knew that Diddy had something heavy in LA. Now, if it was control, I don't know, but it seemed like something was funny was going on there. I don't want the LAPD to sue me. Anyway, Sean, the photographer, said, thanks for keeping us up to date. You welcome, right? So anyway, he put his hand up. She said the next thing she knew. Now, when that happened, Janice Combs did something weird. She was in the thing. She turned around and mumbled something to Diddy's uncle. Now, it could have been about the testimony, or she could have just been disgusted, and she thinks this girl's lying on her child. But she literally mumbled something. Miss V Be Real said, have a slice of pizza on me, Tisa. Thank you so much, Miss V. And yes, that is the price of a slice of pizza in 2025 in America, unfortunately. Table Talk with Mimi Exclusive said, will LAPD be held accountable? Well, it's funny that you say that. I have heard rumblings that there are state investigations into Diddy. I have heard rumblings, but again, they are rumblings, and I don't want to say too much more about it, but I have heard something. Because the government is like, okay, even if you do get federal, and let's just say so even if you do get federal, or it could be someone else, even if you do get federal, sorry, my phone keeps going off. Even if you do get federal, and let's just say you do pardon, even though I don't see why Trump would pardon Diddy, especially because he linked up politically with Ben Massalas from the Midas.
Ben Massalas. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead, yeah. Let me let her go ahead for a second. Sorry. Wait a minute, y'all.
Touch and Mark Garagos, and it was rumored they were behind the whole Stormy Daniels Michael Avenatti thing when they were trying to get Trump impeached, right? So should we go? Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna have to walk and talk, right? So I don't think that Diddy is actually getting pardoned, but if Diddy is getting pardoned, you can't get pardoned from state crimes. I don't think Trump will. I don't see why he would.
She said,
like Trump, maybe he keep a grudge, just like I heard Diddy keeps a grudge too,
Yeah, but they friends with the Kardashians. Oh, Diddy a favor, and I heard that Kim Kardashian was friends with Diddy. No, I
hope you go to jail. Y'all want me dipping and diving, reporting live from the back of a fern bush, right? Anyway, Pam Bassett said, Tisa, I love your reactive addition.
It's too much. He got too much on him. I don't think, it ain't no I think. I don't think, and I don't even think Trump gonna pardon him. I heard it on somebody else's channel, the one that was up there for loud in front of the courthouse today, y'all. I recorded some of it, but that mess, man, I stay away from, but that was just crazy. Anyway, yeah, I don't think Trump's gonna pardon him because it'll make Trump look so bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway.
Diddy pushing up on Mia, right? So Mia said when it happened, she froze. She really didn't know what to do, right? And then she couldn't process it, right? Cash App, Kathy Vogue, thank you so much. She said Trump is not pardoning Diddy. I agree with you, but hey, what's up, mama? How are you doing? Look what we got. We got to do lunch. I'm literally texting. We got to do lunch, okay? All right. So anyway, all right. So my Aloha 82 said, appreciate it. Thanks and hi from Germany. Hello. Brenda La Cruz said, Diddy does not seem concerned because he's counting on Trump. 1 second. Because he's counting on Trump to pardon him. Hold on really quick, y'all. That was so somebody said Diddy's not seem concerned because he is counting on Trump to pardon him. It is sick. Oh, no. I very much disagree. Hey. Yeah, what's up? Hold on, guys. We're in the thing. Hey, what's up?
Girl, I wish your IG.
What's that?
What's your IG?
Oh, Tisa Tells. TISATELLS. Okay. So anyway, No, y'all talking about Diddy didn't seem concerned. Diddy was upset. He was bothered. He was hot. And it was a hot A mess. Can I tell you? Diddy is 100% concerned. Don't let these people talk about he was cool and collected. He was not. He was concerned. He was upset. And baby, we love to see it. All right? Hey, how are you? So, okay. So, sorry, on live. So, Diddy was really, really concerned. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know what the deal is. Okay, so anyway, okay, so let's get into this, okay? So anyway, De La Cruz, blah, 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 blah. So Ali, Ali Alexander said, hey, y'all stop and hit the like button. Double tap for like. Also, Wanda Perez said, what was the jury's mood when Mia cried in the stand after speaking about SA? Yeah. The jury's mood, it was a really disgusting, gross day. Like, it was just a disgusting, gross day. I literally was talking to a few people and I was like, I feel like I need to go home, take a shower, maybe an Epsom salt bath, and put a bathrobe on. Like, it was really, really gross. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to describe it, but it was just gross. Everything was gross. Everything. Do you mind turning that down? So it was just really, really gross. So Nevitz Nomek said state crimes, yes, on the merits, but they could be planning to exhaust his money. Good for his ass. Yeah, but that's the thing with Diddy. I feel like Diddy will find a new way to make money. I really do feel like Diddy will find a way.
Yeah, so he can get those ramen noodles and stuff. Man, I don't know. But as long as he ain't on the streets, casting y'all straight, casting you baby boy, I'm so glad he healthy. I was worried about that, y'all, for real.
To make money. Sonia M said, don't forget that Tang. Trump can be bought. I don't know if Diddy has enough money to buy the president of the United States. I really honestly don't know if he has enough money to buy the president of the United States. We are leaving the courthouse right now. I think I'm going to start filming on the steps of the courthouse. What do y'all think? No, I think so.
No, it's too much.
I think I'm going to start filming on the steps of the courthouse.
That's what all that ruckus was earlier. So I don't know if she want to do that or not, but Tisa can hold on. I saw that.
But I don't know. Or do y'all like the little side thing? Put a 1 in the comments if you like exactly in front, or put a 2 in the comments if you would like to see. You don't care where I film as long as I'm in court and I film somewhere around. Yeah, Ricardo Lewison said, Tisa, you're New York only sources in this case. Do you think Lori Ann or Farnsworth will testify? They've been silent in the media. I 100% believe that. You know what? I'm going to talk about that in a different live because my New York sources are telling me 2 different things. I do believe that Lorianne will testify in a limited capacity to go against Capricorn Clark's testimony. And Farnsworth, I don't know. I know he tweeted a while back. He said, when I get nervous, what did he say? When I get nervous, I stop talking. I said, that sounds like a payoff to me. Anyway, let's get back into Mia's essay. When we last...
That little man, y'all remember that little man? The knot was screaming about to Gene Deal. Yeah, said they SA 2 underagers, and Farnsworth had one, Diddy had one, and the man was in prison. He just got out, and he been writing Diddy. Man been writing Diddy, but he SA you and the 2 girls, but they didn't penetrate the dude, he said. The picture, I don't know. Every picture he got, he just like a fan. Hug with one, hug with the other one, and one standing by itself. Then a group of the people under the tent, a group of Gene Deal and Diddy signing autographs. That's it. That's all that he showed us anyway. He said he had something to show the defense. The defense, y'all. So I think I don't trust him. I don't. I read what somebody said because Ticket TV also did an interview with the same guy after the knot did. I ain't heard Ticket mention nothing else about that man. So no. What you writing a defense for? Come out, you got a way you can help Diddy. And are you crazy? after what he did to the little girls anyway. And then you gon' man, be quiet. Okay, let's carry on. Y'all, let's carry on. Cause I can talk. I can. Sorry.
Stopped. Like last checked on our beleaguered heroin mouth breather was pushing up on her. Okay, so wait, where's my thing? Where's my thing? Hold on, y'all. Oh, here we go. Okay, I got my stuff. Again, people saying Diddy's going to buy off Trump. I do not believe Diddy has enough money to buy off Trump. He is now the president of the United States. Whether you guys don't care where I go. Okay, it's a lot of twos. Dell said, guilty or free, Diddy will be in prison forever. Also, Alicia Stevens said, Tisa, you're doing an awesome job. Coffee on me. Thank y'all so much. Also, the legendary Kind, thank you for gifting a membership. Okay. So anyway, when we last left Mia, Diddy was like, yo, you ain't got to, don't worry. I got you. Mia was like trying to like climb over the kitchen counter. He put his hand up. She said the next, Jasmine, fine. Thank you so much for joining the Tattletales family. So anyway, Mia said she froze. She couldn't process. Next thing she remembers, she was sitting on a chair, sleeping on a chair. She woke up. The sun was coming up. She did say she was fully clothed. And she said, they're like, what did you think? She's like, he's my boss. He's the most powerful man in the record label. And she said, he wasn't as old enough to be my father, but I really looked at him as a father, adult authority figure. Again, everybody that Diddy had working for him, he literally had them like on some like they all had a primal need for a strong, domineering father type role, and he would play that, but then he would punish you mercilessly too. So when you wrap that need, that primal need for like a parental, and then you wrap that into someone that's abusive, but then also someone that can really make all your dreams come true. And let's not forget, Diddy always got with talented people. Getting it together with Drea said, do you think that Diddy could be trying maybe to get a pardon, maybe through Kim Kardashian, since she's turning Republican? Kim is Republican. And if you're Republican, don't start no mess. I don't want to hear any political arguments. But I will say, absolutely, I think that he is pulling every string he can with Kim and Chris to get on Trump's radar. But I don't think Kim has that much pull with Trump. But I do think she has a lot of pull with Ivanka. And Ivanka got a lot of pull with her dad, but I still don't see why or how Trump would do that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
dude, they might be saving it for Kanye. Y'all think Kanye's gonna get have to go to court soon about anything? I can't think. I went blank. Oh yeah, y'all remember the little blonde head lady that did that video and wasn't nobody in the studio but Diddy and Kanye, yeah, and she had to fight her way up out of there. But she didn't get great, but she got up out of there. But her boss that went with her did not make it up out of there because she was already rugged and she was walking around just talking. And she said her boss don't even talk. She used to like the quiet type to stand in the corner. So she was center of attention, just talking. But anyway, so I don't know. Let me see what else. Y'all know what else Kanye did. Shoot. Y'all. I'm going to figure it out. She better say.
Wait, right? Okay. So then she said she hoped it would never happen again. But there was a second time. She was supposed to go up to Diddy's apartment and drop bags. She was with Uncle Paulie. And when she was going to drop the bags, he said something really weird to her along the lines of like, yo, be careful. I've seen this before. And she was like, seen what before? And she said when she went to go drop the bags, Diddy was in the foyer, right? And she came to drop the bags, right? And he literally said, yo, can you pull some stuff up for me on the computer? Trisha H said, XOXO, we love the cover you give. Also, we need the deep dives, but I know you're exhausted. I am going to start doing deep dives. Listen, don't worry. We're going to get this together, right?
That's right.
he literally said, go pull up some stuff on the computer for me. And she said the living room was small and it was a U-shaped couch. So she sat on the couch because the laptop was on the end, and she started pulling the information up. And then Diddy leaned real close to her, right? She said she was sitting there like typing, like, right? And then Diddy leaned in really close. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, Diddy is a predator, because you know, like guys that are used to taking liberties, they study it. It's like they break down your personal space little by little.
Yeah.
So she said that Diddy leaned real close to her. It made her feel super uncomfortable. And all her alarm bells were going off. And she thought about what Uncle Paulie had told her, right? So then all of a sudden, she ran to the bathroom, right? Because she didn't know what to do. So she ran to the bathroom. And when she came back out, Diddy was like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And they're like, what did you feel? And she said, yo, I felt like I was like imagining things. Like I literally was like, man, I'm just I'm being stupid. Uncle Paulie was telling a joke. I was imagining things. Why would Diddy be trying to do this, right? So then, right, she said that the next thing she knows, she had to sleep over at the house, right? This is on a separate occasion. And this is the second time, right? But the other one was a precursor to the second time. And she had to sleep in the upstairs room. The upstairs room had bunk beds in it. He was literally operating like making of the bed. She said that she didn't lock the door. They said, why? They said, because Diddy said, this is my house, and you're not allowed to lock the doors in my house. Interestingly enough, Dawn testified the same thing too, that she had to push furniture up against the door when she was with Diddy and Dirty Money, because Diddy demanded that you can't have, Diddy literally demanded that you can't have, what is it? You can't lock doors in his house, right? So she said she woke up with the weight of Diddy on top of her. And he was telling her, shh, be quiet, and using one hand to keep her quiet, right? And his other hand, he took his, and he put, she said she just froze. She was, this was.
Yeah, she in the car, y'all. She coming. Yeah, McKinney.
She did say, and here's the thing, it was very sad testimony, but then the next thing she said it was very quick. And I wrote right next to it, lol, he ain't beating those Tootsie Roll charges anytime soon.
Oh my God.
Shut up, it was dark testimony. I had to do something to.
Y'all, who started that Tootsie Roll joke about on Diddy? Y'all know what the Tootsie Roll thing is? When he put it in his pants, make it seem like he got some, because he really don't. I had to whisper because my great niece in there, y'all. But yeah, that's what they said. That's who started that. Man, it's probably true. He probably using them a big towel, probably.
Like light in the mood. But she kept saying every time that he assaulted her, the one thing she kept saying was it was super quick, right? She said that even though it was very, very quick, it felt like forever. And she said she doesn't remember how it ended because she blocked it out. The third time, she was at the Beverly Hills house, right? She was in the bedroom closet on the floor. She was helping Diddy pack. A lot of people were coming in and out of the bedroom. Diddy, the next thing she knew, Diddy came into the closet. She said that she didn't know it was Diddy at that time because a lot of people were coming back and forth. She said that she was standing, all of a sudden she looked and Diddy was standing in front of her face, right? And he started stroking her face. And then he took his blank in his hands and grabbed her head and pushed it in her. She was frozen. He forced her to give him sloppy toppy. She said she couldn't do anything. And she said that she felt like trash, complete and utter trash. She was scared and she was ashamed, but she felt defeated and like an idiot because why did she keep letting this happen? And she felt like it was very fast. There was no talking, didn't. She was just like, whatever. She said the fourth time, she said there were multiple times, but after that, she started blacking it out. She just remembered that there's horrible, dark memories surrounding certain things in certain places. She said one time she was flying on a private jet. Now the private jet was the sitting area, then it was the bedroom, then it was the bathroom, right? And everybody would go through the bedroom to go and use the bathroom. She said it was the middle of the night, everybody was sleeping. She couldn't hold it anymore. She got up and she went to go use the bathroom. She tried to leave, she used the bathroom and she was coming out. Diddy was just standing there, okay? He tried to push her back in the bathroom. She was like, no. What are you doing? We're doing, right? And she said that she couldn't distract Diddy, even though there were others around. He still did this. He still did the thing. But she said there was countless times. She said she never initiated, right? She never wanted to have sex with him. She said there was no pattern to it. It was really when he just felt like it. She said it was always when Cassie or the other girlfriends were gone. She couldn't predict it. Diddy had zero boundaries, right?
Darn, Diddy just anytime, anywhere, anybody, whoever, man, woman, you know, tween, anybody. It don't even matter. I wonder if he did any roof. You know, I'm just joking with that. Or am I? I don't know.
And she was just, she didn't understand it. He had zero boundaries, but nobody in his camp had any boundaries. She said Diddy would just tell her to keep it moving. Shame to blame 1971. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Live your truth said thank you for your time and your updates. The world needs your goodness and voice. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate this, right? So she also said that hold on, there's more that she said. Just getting through the super.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't want to distract everybody from the story, but I didn't look down there. One of them caught me off guard. But we all know how big a Tootsie Roll is. Oh my God. Y'all funny to me.
Super chats. Rhonda Jamison said, I love your teas. He said, thank you. And Violet Grace said, thank you for what you do. Amazing work. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all for sitting through this commercial break. And thank you for everybody for the super chats and the people that can.
Okay. She coming.
Listen.
Y'all.
Anyway, she said she would just be told to keep it moving. That was a Diddy phase. She said that every time it happens, she'll remember Diddy being on drugs. So there goes his drug defense. Tracy Steiner said, keep up the great reporting. Thank you so much.
That's not me this time.
She said she never wanted to.
It's not me this time. Oh, is it? I don't think it's me. She riding in a car.
She could never tell him no, or she knew she would be a target. They would fire her, and then they would ruin her future with some fake story, some twisted story that Diddy made up. They would make her look like a threat, and she knew his power and control, and she didn't want to lose what she had built, and she didn't want to be blackballed from the industry, right? Because she said, I saw what he did with Capricorn Clark, and I knew he would do the same thing to me. Ashley Rodriguez said, Tisa, you the GOAT. Thank you so much, Ashley. She said that he threatened her sometimes. Whenever she would deny him, he would be like, yo, I'm going to tell everyone what we've been doing. And I'm going to tell Cassie. And Cassie's going to know, because she said Cassie was like a sister to her. Yeah. And he said, I'm going to tell everybody. Also, Iram said, I don't want no Minute Man. She said, I'm going to tell everyone and Cassie, right? And she said that he was going to tell everybody that she had something to do with it and that it was all her fault. So she never told anybody. She said that she knew she would be silenced. She knew she'd be punished. She knew she'd be exiled from a second family, the only world she knew. She said his whole company would mobilize against her. They said, why didn't you go to HR? She said HR was always there to punish them. Every time Diddy did something, HR was telling her. At one time that she helped Cassie, where Cassie was being beat, HR called her after the Prince thing and said, yeah, you're going on unpaid leave because Diddy. And she tried to tell her what happened. The HR didn't care. Conscious Creator, thank you so much for the super chat, right? She said, and also, who would believe her? She didn't have any support. She said Kayla Parkner was a PA that spoke out when Cassie got beat really, really bad, right? And she said they had a call about Kayla, right? When that happened. She said that Kayla spoke up Kayla had spoken up and said to HR, yo, I think Cassie is an abused woman and something needs to happen. They said that the chief of staff, the HR, and all the executives had a call about Kayla, right? They said, we need to discuss Kayla. Because Kayla told the new chief of staff about what happened with Cassie. Eureka was the new chief of staff. They said Kayla was fired for speaking up, right? And Diddy told her that if Kayla sued me for wrongful firing, Mia would have to testify. And Diddy told Mia what she would have to say.
Oh, wow.
She would have to say that Kayla was this, Kayla was that, Kayla was lying, Kayla was twisting stories, right? There was even one time that Kayla forgot to pay a bill. Kayla was drinking in the office. She forgot to pay a bill. Kayla crumpled up the bill and threw it in Mia's face and then punched Mia in the face. She said that Kayla wasn't fired. Nobody cared, but she was fired after she said, yo, Cassie is an abused woman. She saw after Capricorn Clock was fired. She said it was a few years, she said that if Kayla sued him, Mia would have to get on the stand and lie and defend Diddy. Now, when they said that, I said, oh, I wonder how everybody's defending Diddy on the stand now feels about that testimony. Jasmine Fry said, thank you for all you do. Oh, thank you, Jasmine, for the dinner. And Elianne said, dear Heavenly Father, I ask for a hedge of protection for Tisa. Thank you. I ask that Diddy and all others like him go down in Jesus' the mighty name. Thank you so much. She said that she 100% had to repeat what Diddy wanted her to say if he had to go to court. She said the police wasn't an option. On more than one time, the police fangirl Diddy. They were able to get out a lot of stuff by throwing Diddy's name around. She said even when the cops were aggressive, when they saw Diddy, they turned into fanboys and girls, right? Listen, they said, why didn't you tell anybody about the essay? She said, listen, I didn't talk about it the first time I went with the U.S. attorneys because she said I was so shameful. I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want anybody to know that I let myself be taken advantage of. She said that she was advised to get a lawyer. After she got a lawyer, the lawyer told her, you have to tell the U.S. attorneys anything they want. That's when she admitted what happened. She said, I have to tell the truth. And she said, and it's also a moral thing. I was scared in the silence. And if you're scared in the silence, these things happen over and over again. I have a moral obligation. You know, Diddy's teams was like, objection. Of course, y'all would object to somebody saying they have a moral obligation to tell the truth. God. She said that she's finally here telling her story. She didn't not sue Diddy civilly. She didn't sue anything. She has nothing to gain. No one knew her story, but she literally realized she had a moral obligation because when she found out what Diddy was doing, when she found out what's happening, she said, no more, not on my watch. It ends today. So she's.
Oh, all right. AKA Mia. Dang. I wonder what was the last straw that she heard about that made her testify. I can't believe I can't even believe she came. Scared that they saying she acting and stuff. I can't even believe she came. And I can't believe she's sitting up. Well, she ain't. I can't believe she's sitting up there in front of Diddy talking and his family. I'm just glad. I'm just glad she grew up.
Said something. Lori Jones said, girl, you remind me of a wholesome Wendy. Shout out to Wendy Williams. I hope she gets better. Got me taking my tea breaks on schedule. Thank you for such comprehensive coverage. Y'all, thank you for riding out with me. And Candy Ortiz said, meanwhile, Mia was talking. Oh, what was Diddy's reaction? Diddy looked upset and hot. Oh, yeah. He also low-key looked like he was trying to intimidate Mia. And I thought it was also really weird that the baby oil bandits was in court staring down Mia too. Now, I'm not saying they were trying to intimidate Mia, but I don't know why they're there. Why are you there? I get they're supporting their dad, but then we got to ask you, are you cool with this? And why are y'all looking at the witness like that? Again,
I wonder if they tried to follow her or something. Trying to find out where she live at and where she gonna be and all of that stuff. I don't know. But I think y'all think the guards and stuff, police. No, and I don't know. I have no idea I don't know. I hope she got somebody with her. All I can tell you.
And it could be because they think they're lying. I mean, to be fair, they could be like, yo, these women are lying on my dad, but everybody lied and everybody wanted your dad to use them as a rag doll. Mia is getting no financial benefit. She's gotten no glory. She hasn't talked out public. What would be Mia's whole point of doing this? She has nothing to gain from this and everything to lose. Because trust and believe, I do believe that Diddy still has a lot of connections in music, in the media, and this and that. And I do think that Diddy would blackmail anybody that speaks out against them. Island Cheryl, thank you so much for the super chat. Urban Influence with Dolores said, I feel so abused too. Bless you for reporting. Yeah, it was a nasty energy in the court, just yucky. Janet Aguar, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. She said, you rock. DP said, love the tea and your eyebrows are looking fabulous. Thank you so much. Also, Cheryl D said, "You're a real and an honest reporter. Don't let the haters bother you. Stand on truth."
Yeah,
Well,
you
listen, you
know,
guys, I stay in my own world. I don't know who these haters y'all are talking about. Oh my God, Stephanie Blaze, thank you so much. You said thanks for the coverage. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I don't know who these haters are that y'all talking about, but I really don't pay anybody any mind except for y'all and what's going on Diddy trial. So thank you for the encouragement.
about they're not calling her on his channel because I went over there for a second. The not was calling her Karen. I told you tighten, but I didn't. I just stayed in the clouds or the bushes or whatever they call it. I ain't say nothing. I said, "How you gonna call Tisa a Karen?" Yeah, she broke, but she was just trying to see if she could get an interview with Gene Deal. Come out, Gene and T saw the feds or the police or something like that. I was like, and another one said, just look at the last names. The last names will tell you Deals and Tails. That is, I said, it's about the dumbest thing I ever heard. But it called Tisa Karen. Talking about just cause she had white. I gotta whisper because my break, And yeah. But no, Tisa's, like she said, she got 2 black parents and 4 black grandparents. Okay. And anyway, why is Denai, why do you always, if you ever look down here at my channel, because y'all know I'm small, I ain't even got 1,000 subscribers yet, but I'm praying on it. But anyway, why are you always bringing color up into something? Just the way you talk about color, and then you gonna diss us talking about you, because you have such and such, you ain't even black. Yes, you are. I'm going by the color of your skin. If the police pull you over, what you think they gonna think you are? Huh? Okay, so leave Tisa alone. She ain't even bothering nobody. She do her reporting at the courthouse. Hey, how you doing? What's up? That's it. Leave her alone. Please, y'all. Dang. Let the girl work. Bring us some content.
But I am telling y'all, I don't pay anyone anything any mind. So I mean, okay, if a tree falls into a forest, did I hear it? Nope. I don't. Anyway, William Stryker said, lock up Diddy, right. Lock him up, post taste too sweet. Noun. Kim Hopkins, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Jada Z said, where are the plastic surgeons? Let's bring them to court. They might actually bring the surgeons to court. Anyway, you guys, listen, I got to hop out really quick, take care of something. I'll be back on live in about an hour with even more.
Okay. I didn't know she was about to end. I'd have waited. But yeah, they always talking about Tisa, but Tisa found Jonathan Odd. Yes, she did, because like I said, I've been with Tisa for 4 years. Yes, she brought Jonathan Odd first. Everybody's talking so much trash every time she would bring up something. Then when it come to pass, yeah, she waited till a bunch of them came to pass. Then she was like, yeah, y'all said this and y'all said that and y'all said that. Yeah, let her have a moment. Talking all that junk about the girl. She don't do nothing. She ain't messing with nobody. That I see anyway. I put it that way, because I don't live there. But anyway, yeah, just Tisa straight. She cool. Anyway, y'all, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see y'all in a little bit. Tisa may be live. I'm about to check. All right. And no, I do not record her lives when she is live, so she can get all her money and her people. All right. I'll talk to y'all later, okay? All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Mackenzie, Johnson, and Winter. See y'all later.